today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series Mandalorian Incinerator Trooper. And here we have him standing out of the box without any pose or accessories. You could say that the flamethrower is an accessory, however, it is attached to the propane tank. It's probably not propane, but that tank to his back, so you can't really... You can take it out of his hand, of course, but you can't get it off that tank. So I won't be considering that an accessory. First impression wise, this is basically the new Stormtrooper that we have gotten in the Mandalorian line, but with some extra red markings, a red pauldron, flamethrower with the tank. So I'm really looking forward to this figure. Let's get into the accessories. Accessory-wise, he only comes with this flame effect that you can plug into his flamethrower. I'll show you that in a second. Let's just have a closer look at the effect piece. It's actually a very well sculpted flame effect. Well, I've seen way worse than this, and I like how there's a difference in the color here. It starts yellow and then goes into a blazing red. Really realistic, actually. Looks like a piece of candy or a lollipop, actually. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little hole here which you can plug into the flamethrower, and it's pretty snug. It's not going to fall off or anything. You can hold the weight of the flame effect as well. So now let's get into the details of the figure. Moving on with the details, let's take a closer look at the figure itself. Let's take a look at the new sculpting first, because this is basically just the old sculpted Stormtrooper that we have seen. Take a look at the flamethrower gun. It doesn't have any paint applications, but it's still a pretty nice piece, nicely sculpted. The only thing is that this barrel piece is just too wide for his left hand to hold it. I'll show you that in a second as well, but you have to kind of pry open the left hand in order for him to hold this barrel. He can hold the gun right here, no problem, but if you want to have him holding the gun with two hands, then it becomes sort of a problem. And then, as you can see, there's a little tube that goes all the way up to this flamethrower tank, and this is really nice, and I really like this little detail here, the red Imperial logo. That's very nice. And technically you could actually take this off. Yeah, see, there's little plugs here. You just have to take these off, and you can take off the propane tank. It's probably not propane, it's some kind of other made up Star Wars gas in there, I don't know. And it's actually very nice how this sculpted, that the grenade holster actually has a place there. There's a little hole it goes into, so it doesn't stick out like this. And take a look at the pauldron. It's actually, I don't know if it's the same sculpt as the Sand Trooper Stormtrooper used to have, but it's the color on the pauldron is definitely new. We only got orange colored pauldrons so far. And taking a look at the pattern, it's very nice actually, how there's a little, like it's almost been scratched off here, as you can see, here as well in the mouth, and all around the figure actually. There's, you know, it looks like it's been painted, but he's been working a while as an Incinerator Stormtrooper, so he's got some scratching on his armor, some wear and tear. It's always very nice. It goes all the way from the bottom to the top, but as you can see, there's actually some red paint on the above the knee here. Just kind of, I mean, you can barely notice it. It's no problem really, but it's something you need to look out for. It looks like there's actually some black paint on the forearm here as well, but it's no biggie really. Okay, so now let's get into the articulation of the figure. Articulation-wise, mind that this is my personal copy of the figure, so I'm gonna be a bit more careful with it. Moving from top to bottom, starting with the head. The head is on a ball joint and hinge. It rotates all the way around, looks down about this much, up about this much. Head tilt, no problem. The pauldron does hinder it quite a little bit when it comes to moving it to the right. The arm, there is a slight butterfly joint. The pauldron, with the old new Stormtrooper, this can move so it doesn't hinder the articulation that much. Moves out about this much. It can, well, it should. It does rotate all the way around, yeah. Wow, that was a very tight joints. The arm, a single hinge, but it still goes past 90 degrees. That's pretty good. The left arm is on the horizontal hinge. The right is on the vertical one because it's a gun holding hand. I'll actually show you how, as you can see, the left hand is just too tight. You can't grip it too much. You could kind of force it or use hot water. As you can see, you can kind of force it there. Just whatever your preference is on that. The torso is in a ball joint. He can sort of hula hop, but the propane tank does hinder it a bit. He cannot move his back, actually. Yeah, he cannot look up. Down, it's pretty nice. Barely any side to side. His legs go side this much, go back this much, double jointed knees. Well, sorry, actually that's not double jointed, single jointed, but that's actually still very nice. Goes forward about this much, but the ammo pouch does hinder it a little bit. Then this is on a hinge and a pivot, so it goes back this much, forward this much, and you can rock her side to side. Moving on to the size and comparisons. This guy is standing approximately exactly 15 centimeters to the top of his head, which in inches translates to 6 inches exactly. Comparisons, here he's standing next to the new release, the Star Wars The Black Series Mandalorian Imperial Stormtrooper. It's the exact same mold, so they're exactly the same height. And here is him next to a 7-inch scale figure, Diamond Select Star Wars Boba Fett. And here he is standing next to a can of Coca-Cola, just for fun. My final thoughts on the figure. I personally like it, but in the end it's just a new Stormtrooper with some extra paint patterns and a different accessories. If you want something new and unique in terms of sculpt, this might not be the figure for you, but if you liked him in the Mandalorian series and want to expand your Empire collection, then I highly recommend getting this one. This was my review on the Star Wars The Black Series Incinerator Stormtrooper. It was me, the collector. If you liked the video, consider leaving a like or a dislike. That's an option for you as well. And if you like my reviews, consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you and goodbye.